Hello there and welcome to today's session. If you can hear me, please type into the box, and just so I can make sure you can hear me, just type in the box, say hello. We've got a full house today, so I'm not going to be able to engage with you all one-to-one like we sometimes do on our smaller training calls. So what I'm going to do is give you the opportunity to speak one-to-one at some point in the webinar. So hold on and I will make sure I'll engage with you all one-to-one, but we've got a full house today, so we're going to have to move through this quickly. So a little bit of housekeeping. Today's call is going to last approximately 60 to about 75 minutes. And try and keep it closer to 60. We're going to move through this really quickly. For those of you who've spoken with me before, you know I speak very quickly, very passionate about the subject, and I'm really focused on sharing the tools, the strategies, and the ways to really automate your business. So with that said, I can see a few more still checking in, so I'm going to start in about 20 seconds. So if you want to shut down Facebook, shut down anything that's going to move your attention. I promise to make this next 60 minutes full of great value, and I'm really looking for your engagement. So shut down anything that's going to take your eyes off of this, because I'm pretty certain there's lots in here you won't have come across before. So you can see people still checking in, but I'm going to kickstart now. So welcome to today's session. Today's session is on candidate automation. So we're talking about how to really automate your candidate sourcing, but not just automate the candidate sourcing, but also bring in a higher quality of candidates. So we talk about candidates, we talk about the lifeblood of our business, and what I'm about to show you really is the platform for a 6-7 figure business. I'm going to give you some case studies so you can see this work in the real world. I'm going to give you some theory, but really the $1 million question is, how do we get the best passive candidates, whether they be actually world-class passive candidates, a type that we cannot actually normally get in contact with, or whether they're the passive candidate we could place fairly easily, or whether they are maybe the sort of candidate that other agencies are trying to get in contact to. We know who they are, but we just can't get responsiveness. We can't engage with them. They're not responding to our communications, whether it be emails, telephone. So how do we do that? So that's what we're focusing on today. How do we get the creme de la creme of passive candidates? How do we set up a system that automates the process, gives us leverage, gives us scale, but also the quality? So one of the things I'm a big advocate of, we want to be getting passive candidates who are not on job boards. So if you use a tool like ZipRecruiter, awesome tool, gives you great ways of getting out on many boards, etc. That's great if you're looking for candidates who are actively looking on job boards, placing their CVs on job boards. In my membership groups, in my coaching groups, we're always an advocate of, you do not get your candidates from job boards. You want your candidates to be the passive candidates, the candidates who are already in place, already in roles, those who are high quality, those who are easier to place, those who take less of your time to place because they're a higher quality. It's not a game of speed. You're not looking for a candidate on a job board and then being the quickest agency to move. We want those who are not on job boards, those who are in placements already. So the system I'm going to give you is a 6-7 bit recruitment business in 90-day system. Now there's really 3 key ways or 3 key strategies to build an agency, and candidates is one piece of it. So I'm just going to switch to my iPad. For those of you who've never been on one of my calls before, you're going to see this for the first time then. But there's really 3 key things we're looking at when we build an agency. And it looks like this. The first thing we got is our candidates. So we say this is the lifeblood of our business. So our candidates, with the right quality of candidates, it's the lifeblood of a business. Second, we've got clients. We need the clients. We need the clients on board to really open up the roles, obviously, and create the pipelines. And the candidates are then going to give us actually get us paid, get us the fees. And the third part of this makes the entire job 1,000 times easier, is you being the expert in your marketplace. So for those of you who've heard of me before, I'm huge on you being the expert in your marketplace. We've got a strategy we call the Maven strategy. So we want world-class leaders in your marketplace to endorse you, so both clients and candidates know, like and trust you, even if you're a brand new agency. Now when you bring the three together, what you've got is a set of steps where you can scale a business very quickly. And that's what we're focusing on. Now today, we're focusing purely on the candidate piece. We're focusing purely on candidates. So, the framework we're going to work to is this. In fact, before we get to framework, I want to maybe change your mindset on the way you've looked at your business before. The first thing is I want to look at how we want to, there's three key factors we want to be using when we look to actually create an automated candidate process. The first is this. We want you to focus on having a one-to-many mindset. What does that mean? That means instead of approaching a candidate one at a time, whether it be one message at a time or one telephone call at a time or one broadcast email at a time, we want you speaking to hundreds, thousands of potential candidates every time. If you're going to say it once, why say it over and over again? So you've got a one-to-many, and to do that you need online automated systems. The second approach that we focus on is this: inbound. Everything we do is inbound. Whether we're focused on client strategies, which today we're not doing, or candidate strategies, you only speak to 8, 9s or 10s. So candidates, you only speak to candidates who are truly going to get you, to be blunt, get you paid. The rest of the candidates, you add value to them by placing them into an automated system, and they receive value from you over the course of 60, 90 days, 100 days, even a year. And the third part of the process is this. We need you to be always positioned as the expert in your marketplace. So if you're getting lack of responses, lack of engagement, lack of traction with candidates, it's because you're probably missing either the one-to-many, the inbound, or the expert approach. Because the polar opposite of inbound is outbound, you're chasing. The polar opposite of one-to-many is one-to-one, you're chasing candidates one at a time. That is life-sapping. You don't have the time to do that. And if you're not the expert, you're seen as, well, to be blunt, candidates tell me that they think recruiters treat them like a piece of meat. So if you're not the expert, the go-to person, the chances are you're not seen as someone your candidates can trust. And that's going to hurt you long term, because your candidates are going to be placed again. Your candidates are going to have their own teams in the future. So the sweet spot we're looking to fill is this, where we cross over all three. And that's what we're focusing on today. That is the key focus of today. Now, in terms of the actual framework we want to be working through, there are really a number of changes that we need to take on board in our mindset in recruitment, and that's where the really key driver comes from, that change in mindset. But before we get to that, what I'm going to do is I want to get you to tell me really where you are in your business. So, moving back to the presentation, what I want you to think about is this. When you signed up for this call today, you were focusing on a key driver. You were focusing on a key reason for being here today, and I don't know what that is. We've not met yet. So when you signed up for your first recruitment role, and then you got onto your first desk, and then you set up your own business, there was a reason for setting up your own business. Now, most recruiters tell me that they set up their own business for one of the following. The first one is money. They've had their own desk, and they've had their own commissions coming in, and then they've seen a huge segment of that go to the president or to the owner of the business. So the first reason they set up their own agency is money. The second is status. To their peers, it's a real status, it's a driver to have your own business, your own agency. But this is where the dichotomy exists. A lot of recruitment businesses were set up to have more freedom, to have more time. I'm going to set up my own business, I'm going to bring on more consultants, and I'm going to have more freedom. I'm going to have more money, and in turn, I'm going to have status. The reality is that the money actually is difficult to get in because there's much more to do. The status doesn't occur, not at least internally. The outside world may think we're doing okay, but internally we're struggling. And from freedom, we're actually doing more things. We're doing more hours. Now, the key thing is this, and this is one thing I'm huge on. So every time we work with someone, we do two things. One, we want your cash flow to grow hugely, and we do that with tactics. But then we want your business to become a business that gives you freedom. We do that as strategy. So we're looking in this next hour to create a business, not a job. So we want you to focus on creating a business. So that means automation, it means tools, it means not you killing yourself. It's creating a business, not a job. So let me ask you a question. Why are you here today? So just type in the box, why are you here today? Now I can't respond to all of you because I say we've got too many on the call today, but just type in the box why you're here today, and then they will come through to our messages. So I want to learn the automation tools. I'm fed up with the phone. I want to sell my business in 12 months and I need a way to systematize. I think you mean systematize there. Not quite sure what you mean by that. I want to. So you have a pipeline you want to fulfill straight away. Okay, got it. So basically, most of you then, by the looks of it, are telling me that you're here to automate. You're here to scale. A few of you, leverage is worth being used. Okay, cool, good. Okay, so we're looking. Automation's been used quite a few times. Okay, so let me ask you another question. What was your income last month? And this isn't some woo-woo question. This is direct metrics I want to get from you now. This isn't just candy floss. What was your income last month? If it's $10,000, write it down on a piece of paper. If it's $100,000, write it down on a piece of paper. Actually write it down. Don't just sit at the screen. Don't make this hour passive. If you want to change your business, actually take action. Write it down. What was your income last month? Now, right next to it, what do you want your income to be? So if it's 10,000, if you want it to be 100,000, write it down. By the way, I'm going to give you a case study where one member took his income from $8,000 on course to $100,000 a month. So this isn't woo-woo. There's a reason for this. If you don't take action on this, you won't take action on changing your business. What do you want it to be? So you should have two numbers now. Now the gap, so if you have 10,000 and 100,000, the gap's 90,000. That's the quota we need to fill. If you have 5,000 and 50,000, you've got 45,000. That's a quota to fill. Now write down this. What is the average placement? What do you get for your average placement? Is it 25,000, 10,000? Now divide the first by the second. I want to know, I want you to think about this. I need 4 placements extra a month. I need 3 extra a month. I need 10 extra a month. That's the figure we're working with. Why is that important? It's important because in a second, towards the end of this session, I'm going to give you the exact formula that will then will fill that gap. That's the gap you need to fill. Now, I'm just going to switch back to my iPad. This is what we're going to be doing in the next hour. These are the frameworks, and this is where you might have been in the past, and this is where you're going to be. So this is what we're looking at. In fact, that's the wrong pen. There we go. Last year we trained 12,033 recruiters. This year we're going to go way past that figure. So these frameworks are not finger in the air stuff. These frameworks are from real life results from real life recruiters just like you. So this is the framework we're going to be applying in the next hour. So on the left hand side, this is what I typically see. This is what I typically see. We've got recruiters who run their business in a manual fashion. We've got recruiters who are treating their business as a scattergun. They don't have systems. They don't have laser focus. The main driver they use is phone and errand in mails and so forth. Just doing things the old traditional way. They treat their business in the way they prospect for candidates in a one-to-one fashion. So they contact candidates one-to-one on LinkedIn, get poor response rates. They send out email blasts, poor response rates. They pick up the phone and chase candidates one-to-one, poor response rates. And most of it, if not all of it, is outbound. They're chasing. And that changes the dynamic. As soon as you chase, you know what it's like when you pick up the phone and you get that icky, horrible feeling that you're chasing someone. It's horrible, that feeling. And that's what happens when you do outbound. So we want to change the whole dynamic of your business. So this session isn't just about tactics, it's about strategy. So the first thing we want to do, we want to move from outbound into inbound. We want candidates and clients in the bigger picture coming to you. We want to stop chasing one-to-one. Everything's one-to-many. Like today, we had close to 1,000 register for today's webinar. I'm not speaking one-to-one to you. Can you imagine if I spoke one-to-one to you, how much time that would take? So we want your client prospecting and we want your candidate sourcing to be one-to-many. We want to move away from the phone and chasing it and doing things the old traditional way. We want to be using innovative strategies now. We're going to use innovative strategies which are online and unique. What does that mean? Other agencies aren't doing these things. It means you're not chasing. It means candidates and clients are going to come to you. You're not chasing outbound on the phone. Rather than scattergun, we want laser focus. And what we want is systems. We want predictable systems. And rather than manual, we want our business to be run in an automated fashion. Now, am I telling you that you press a big red button and everything's done for you in a heartbeat? Of course not. Am I telling you that a business can grow by 5-10 times by applying this? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But this is the framework we're walking through. At the very least, when normally we engage with agency owners, directors, I want to double my business in 12 months. Okay, great. What does that look like? Tell me what it looks like. Let's look at the metrics. But this is the framework. We're moving from manual to automation, moving from scattergun to systems, moving from the phone to online strategies, moving from one-to-one to one-to-many, moving from outbound to inbound. That's the framework we're going to be working to in the rest of this session. That's the framework we're going to be working to for the rest of this session. So with that said, what I want to do is this. We're going to move really, really quickly. At the end of this call, I'm going to give you the slides and a recording. Stay right to the end, and then I'll have one of my assistants give you the details. If not, I'll do it at the end. And we'll send you the slides and we'll send you the recording. Also, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to give you the opportunity to have access to these. Basically, it's a whole marketing plan, an agency recruitment fast action marketing plan. It shows you how to attract, how to convert, how to automate both clients but also candidates. But key word here is automate. The second thing I'm going to give you is a really, really cool report. It's called the Agency Ignition Report. So it's to show you how to get clients, CVs, and ultimately to get certainty in your business. There's nothing better than waking up in your business and having CVs and high quality candidates there. Or there's nothing better than waking up having leads from clients there. Actually saying to you, can you source for me? Now that sounds like a big promise. I'm actually going to give you case studies that support both of these. You've never met me, so I expect to do this. But stay to the end. I'll give you the opportunity to pick up both of these and also a video that supports both of these. Now what we're going to cover is this. We're going to cover the 3 mistakes that are killing off agencies. We're going to go through the 3-step framework to get a CV flood framework in and how to implement your own system. So I'm going to give you the steps so you can actually implement this yourself. I'm also going to go behind the scenes on the systems we use in our own business. Now for those of you who don't know me, my name's Andy Whitehead. I help recruitment agencies grow by 2 to 10 times using purely online inbound marketing strategies which work. Key phrase there, key word, which work. Agencies that double, got case studies, check them out on our website. Agencies that hit 10 times over. Again, this is real life now. This is real world. Now this is what clients say about us. Because of you, I've transformed my business. And because of you and RMI, Recruitment Marketing International, I've transformed my business. I've been talking to all my colleagues in different industries and they're tired just listening to me. Most of them don't even know what I'm talking about. Very few people are doing this regardless of the industry. Thank you for everything. It's been worth every penny. Ken's on course to 10 times his business in the first year. 10 times. Does it work what I'm showing you? James, there's a lot of text there, but essentially you'll see what he says. Number 4, would you recommend it? Yes, I'd recommend it without hesitation, but maybe a bit of hesitation, maybe a bit. I don't want everyone getting wind of this stuff. James joined us and basically his exact phrase was, I've got too many clients. So whether you want candidates or clients, the strategies I'm showing you work. Now for those outside of my direct clients, Mike Walmsley, the $250 million man, he said the most innovative techniques I've ever seen to get more candidates and clients without using the phone is a lead gen tool. If you don't know Mike, Mike is a world leader in recruitment training, as in using the telephone and the more traditional ways. Mike's a great guy, and that's what Mike's got to say. The most innovative techniques ever. Mark Stevens runs Technology and Recruitment Alliance. I can honestly say there are very few people anywhere with the ability to deliver marketing the way that Andy does. He understands the landscape and applies extensive marketing knowledge to great effect. The results pay for service many times over. Now, I'm not here to sell you anything, but what I'm here to do is tell you this. What I'm about to show you is going to change the way you view your business. It isn't hyperbole. These are real strategies that work. Now this, why do recruiters fail? We've surveyed our database. 81% of recruitment agency owners are worried about either going broke, they're worried about burnout, they don't see their kids, they've got spouse problems. Now I'm not sure if you can relate to any of those. We've never met. But ultimately, they worry about disappearing, about the longevity of their business. They're worried about within 5 years maximum, but most say within 12 to 24 months, they're worried about hitting their targets. Some even consider maybe going back to, quote, a job. That's a horrible place to be in. Now, I've said I've never met you, but just do this. Just type in the box. Why do they struggle? Why do so many recruiters struggle? New kids on the block, internal recruiters, fees getting squeezed, overwhelm. Okay, they're all coming in. Too much to do. I wish things could be like they were 10 years ago when I started. I'm 45, don't want to miss my kids growing up. Absolutely. I can understand why that causes you struggle. My life is a slog. But why are you struggling though? What's the actual struggle? Well, this is the thing. Our industry is one of the hardest working industries in the world. Recruiters do not struggle because of effort. It's not effort. Do you know any industry who works harder than us? Do you really know any industry who puts more hours in than us? Takes more rejection than us? Well, that's the thing, it's not effort. It's this. It's the model. The real problem is the model. You could take your effort over and over again, or you can take the right model. It's about working smarter nowadays. Now, the fact of this, you've been set up to fail. If you can understand or relate to any of the following, you've been set up to fail. These are the signs that you've not got a system for high quality passive candidate. You've not got a system for high quality sourcing techniques. If you haven't got a system, you're going to relate to these. You're going to relate to these three signs. Number one, you chase candidates with emails. You chase candidates with emails. If you live in a land of hope, you haven't got a system. Your model's broken. If you search on job boards or you rely on old databases, you've got the same candidates as everyone else. You haven't got fresh, highly skilled candidates. The fact is you're doing the same as everyone else. If you're searching on job boards, you're going to get the candidates who are difficult to place, every agency's got access to, and then really you're going to be in a place of struggle. And number three, if you treat every candidate the same, so whether that be passive live or you send out broadcast emails in one go, you've got a broken model. So you should only speak to the 8, 9s and 10s. Only speak to the candidates who come to you, who give you their CV. You can see that they're a high quality candidate. You do not go out there chasing. They come to you. Now these are the facts. You're not RoboCop. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Now whether you take those stats in or not, but why on earth would you do this manually? Why would you do that? If you're doing it manually, it's a one-way street to the grave. If you've got no system, you're exhausted. And that's what I see with most recruiters. They're exhausted. They're burnt out. Now, you might be able to relate to this. Do you have up and down months? Do you have inconsistent months? If you do, the chances are it's because you've got a lack of lifeblood. You've got a lack of candidates coming in. If you've got a lack of candidates coming in consistently, you're going to have that stress of up and down. And your business ultimately is a lottery. Now, I know you're probably thinking most recruitment marketing fails. And it does. Why? Because it's done by those who've not actually walked the walk. It's not done by those who've actually sweated blood and tears, put the long days in, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years of training, always upskilling themselves. These are real world strategies. They work. If you've got up and down months, you've got a broken model. You need to fix it. You need to turn that lottery into predictability. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn that lottery into predictability. So what I want you to do is this. I want to think about what's the choke point for you in your business. So what's the choke point in terms of your actual candidate sourcing? So question, what's the hardest part about recruiting high quality candidates for you? Just type in the box quickly. What's the hardest part? Just going to grab my drink quickly while you do that. Absolutely love bottled water. I've been drinking about 6 litres a day at the moment, and I'm having a couple of litres in the gym first thing in the morning, and about 2 litres in the day, then trying to get another 2 in between about 4 and 8 p.m, and it's been doing me the world of good. Let me see then. Okay, now the time on systems to get in front of candidates. Not enough time. Spend all day on LinkedIn. My message is not getting responded. No engagement, lack of engagement. I can't differentiate my message. Too much to do. Okay. Got it. Okay. Let's do this. Let's look at the 3 steps to getting the A-player candidates, those not on job boards. The first one is this. Number 1, wake up. Wake up. If you're still sending broadcast emails, if you're still chasing, wake up. Get with the times. We're in 2015. If you're not focusing, if you're still doing things manually, you should be in a land of automation now. If you haven't got predictable stats every month, you know exactly what happens when you run a process. You're in backward times. If you're still chasing one-to-one, you're behind the times. If you're still doing outbound chasing, you're behind the times. If you think these things will go away, that they'll fix themselves, that's exactly what Kodak said. One of the biggest companies in the world, ironically in the digital space, went bankrupt. Why? Because they didn't apply digital strategies. If you're going to say it once, but speak to thousands, whether it be live, whether it be recorded, whether it be in automation. Get with the times. If you're still chasing, you look desperate. And do you know what? It harms your brand. It harms your brand. If you're still doing outbound, it harms your brand. If you're still chasing on the phone, it harms your brand. Number 2, I want you to use automation and inbound systems. I'm going to come to that in a minute. I want you to use systems that move you from outbound chasing into inbound so they come to you, whether it be clients or candidates. We're focusing on the candidate piece today. Life's so much easier when they actually apply to you. So much easier. If you're still doing outbound, it's hard, it's demoralizing. Especially on the phone, it moves the dynamic to weakness. If you're still chasing one-to-one, you're in a place of unpredictability. You're not having a good month, a bad month. You need to now have automation and systems. This is the wake-up call today. And number 3, you need to structure your candidate sourcing into campaigns. So we got a campaign is how we're going to focus on our business. So if you and I spoke and I said to you, right, tell me the next 30, 40, 50 jobs, it might be just 5 jobs you've got to fill. I'd say to you, right, let's break it into different channels. We might have 3 or 4 channels. And then I'd say to you, right, I want to know what the fees are for each of these roles. And then we break it down to 3 channels. We say, right, if we can fill that channel, you've got 10 roles there, that's going to give you $500,000. We've got this channel, it's got 5 roles, that's going to give you $200,000. Okay, I suggest we focus on the first channel. This is what we're going to do. So you want to focus on either micro or macro. So on the one hand, you can build your campaigns and get really focused. Remember, this is all online. There's not one telephone call being made, by the way. So the first approach is you get micros. You might say, I want Java developers who've got experience of upgrading from 7 to 8 based in New York. That could be a micro campaign. Macro could be, I want freelance heavy civil engineers in the UK. Macro. So we need to look at your business, look at your niche, and we need to understand what we've got in terms of your pipeline and how do we fill it and what's the best strategy. But we either go micro or we go macro. Now you can have many campaigns running simultaneously. I always recommend you run the first one, and that can be up running within a week. Get it up and running, get the CVs in, get the process proven, and everything we do is metrics driven. So every time we run through a campaign, we want to get at least 40%, 40% opting in. So you break your roles into campaigns, and say we do that. You and I would have a conversation, and we'd say, right, you got 30 roles. That'd be one campaign. This would be a second campaign. That'd be a third campaign, fourth campaign, and so forth. And then we prioritize. So focus on micro and macro. Remember, it's all done online. No picking up the phone. No icky feeling. So the theory first, then the application. So let's look at the architecture. What is the architecture for an automated candidate sourcing system, a passive candidate sourcing system? Well, the structure is this. On the left hand side, we've got traffic. So traffic's I'm going to go through these one at a time, by the way. for those of you who sent me messages. I'm going to go through these one at a time. Also, for those of you who sent me a message, I'm going to give you the slides. Remind me at the end. I'm going to give you an email address. So make sure you give me the email address at the end, and then I'll make sure that you get sent those. So the first thing is this. This is our campaign architecture. So you might have a set of roles, and we say, right, this is your first campaign. So on the left-hand side, we've got traffic. Then we got our landing page conversion. So what does that mean, 40%? It means that every 100 candidates who come, 40% give us their details. Stroke apply for the role. So in this case, we've got traffic, landing page, CTA's call to action system. So that means they give us the CVs. AFU means automated follow-up. Call to action system, in this case we want CVs. We have a different call to action system, so if we want client leads, we'd have a different system. The conversion tool, we're going to come to in a second, so I'll explain each one of these steps. Now you'll see at the bottom, we've got conversion 40 to 72%. What does that mean? It means at the low end, we always want at least 40% conversion. So 100 candidates come, 40% conversion. The highest we've ever had is 72% in the group. But your very first run, we want 40%. How do we get such high figures? I live and breathe this stuff. Been doing it in my business. We got templates. We got working examples. We just got copy and paste guidelines for the actual landing page and traffic and all sorts. That's how we can do it. So the very first time you run it, we want 40%. So what is traffic? Well, traffic's this. Remember, it's inbound. So traffic could be SEO, which I don't recommend, by the way, but it could be infographics, could be social networks, could be webinars, could be podcasting, could be referral links, could be social bookmarking, could be video, could be LinkedIn, could be blogging. The reality is this. There are hundreds of options. One thing we always do is we want simple. I'm really simple the way I treat my business. I'm actually, I hate complexity. I hate overwhelm. I hate any form of stress. I hate looking at 1,000 different options. I want a real simple life. I want to know that if I put 10 units in the front of the system, I'm going to get 100 units out the back. I don't want to be dealing with about 20 different options like we have here. So this is what we do. Number one, you identify where your candidates are. So where are your candidates? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on forums? Are they on Facebook? Where are your candidates? Then you select one inbound channel. So what's the channel going to be? Do you select one channel? So just went through about 20 different options. But you select one channel and you become world class at using it. So for example, if I said to you that we use a LinkedIn strategy, give you the exact template, use this template, this is what you use to make sure you get traffic from LinkedIn. If you're going to use a Facebook strategy, this is the approach to take. If you're going to use a forum strategy, this is the approach you're going to take. If you're going to use a Maven strategy, so Mavens are world leaders. So say for example you're in a let's say you're in digital media. If you have Barack Obama's social media person speak at one of your events, an online event, she's going to bring some traffic with her, bring candidates with you if it's done the right way. So that could be your inbound channel, a webinar, and you could have a Maven strategy whereby you bring Barack Obama's person, social media person, on one of your webinars, and that's going to bring you a bit of traffic, isn't it? Some candidates, quite a bit of candidate traffic if it's done correctly. But I use that example, that's what one of our members has done. Step two, your conversion tool. So what's your conversion tool? You've got webinars, you've got videos, you've got landing pages, it could be podcasts, it could be surveys, but you select a conversion tool relevant to your business. So what is the right conversion tool? Well, this is an example of what not to do. I was asked to go into an agency in London in the Square Mile. The Square Mile is where the investment banks are traditionally held. We've now moved a bit to Docklands, Canary Wharf and so forth. I was asked to go into this agency and they wanted to create a digital strategy. They'd been referred to me and they knew of another client I was working with. So we went in and we had a meeting. They wanted to create a digital strategy because we heard what we'd done with another client. When we looked at their business, their ideal prospect was in fact a over 55-year-old based in the city, works on the trading desks, and they want to create a digital strategy. So they want to create webinars and so forth. Now the reality is this: if you work in the city, so you work in investment banks on trading desks, it's an extremely stressful scenario. You're not going to have the time to take out an hour in your day to use a webinar. Secondly, the avatar of their prospect was over 55. Most of these, and as not to be in any way ageist, for those of you who know me, I'm not anything-ist, but in this case, knowing the avatar of the prospect, they would not probably even know what a webinar is. So it's pointless creating a conversion tool strategy whereby we get our candidates to come to a webinar, because it's the wrong tool for that marketplace. So what you need to do is this: you select one conversion tool which will fit your marketplace. So you need to make sure the conversion tool fits your marketplace. Number 2, you send traffic. So rather than pick up the phone, rather than chase with emails, you send traffic. And then for every 100 who come, you want to get 40% converting. 100 candidates come, we want 40 CVs. Now, for those of you, I can see some of you have asked me questions already about the quality of the CVs. I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to the quality of the CVs in a second. So don't worry about that. So what you want to be doing is those 3 steps. Identify a conversion tool which is relevant for your marketplace. Now, I don't know the niche you're in. But each niche will have a different conversion tool. In fact, you can use many conversion tools for each niche. Secondly, you send traffic. And third, you want to be getting a 40% conversion rate to start with, and then actually scale up from there. Step 3, you want AFU. What does that mean? You want an automated follow-up. So what I'm going to do is to go into one of my systems. But an automated follow-up is a system which automatically communicates with your candidates, with your clients. It can automate the process of asking for referrals, asking for CVs, are they looking to move, surveying them, what are their key drivers to move, etc, etc, etc. You want to automate that process. As soon as they come into your domain, you want to automate the process. So I'll show you one of my accounts quickly now. So let me see. There we go. So you should see on screen now. If you can see my screen, you should be able to see a channel, or one of the a page saying automations. Just let it load up. It's taking a second. Let me just see what's going on here then. Why is that taking so long? Automations, try again. Oh, there we go. Not sure it took so long then. So you see on this page, if I click on here, this is a set of automated communications which go on for about 50, 60, 70 days. So if you can imagine, you're engaging your candidates. Candidates come to the page. You get, for every 100 who come, you want 40 signing up, and then from then you're going to get the CVs. Now you want to automate a process. So you can see on day 0, the email here is sent. So when someone opts in, they receive this email. On day 1, if I just scroll down the page, on day 1 they receive this email. On day 2 they receive this email. Day 4 this email, and so forth. Now what we want to do, we want to set up a process whereby your communication with your candidates and your clients, for that matter, are automated. Why on earth would you, if someone comes into your domain, so a candidate joins or signs up or gives you a CV, they only hear from you when you want something, or you're looking for you send out a job alert. That isn't the way to grow your brand. That isn't the way to really grow engagement. That isn't the way to grow responsiveness. So you set up an automated process whereby on day 7, for example, they receive this message. You want a process whereby it's set up and it runs for you in the background. So you set it up once and then it runs forever. So as we can scroll, how many pages we've got here? So on day 20, this so systematize your agency. So on day 20, this email is received, and it goes on and on. We get down to day 66, day 67. 5 agency mistakes. So I'm sending out a video and a PDF on day 67. So this is just one channel. We've got 4 or 5 of these set up across different systems. So you want to choose one system, and then you want to get it set up. In systems you can use GetResponse, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, etc., etc. So there are many different systems you can use, but make sure you choose one. You want to be automating this. Get the process set up once. Our members who have doubled their business, who've gone to 10 times their business, Everything's about systems. Everything's about repeatability, scalability. So what you need to do is this. Select and automate a follow-up tool. Create content for 90 days. Include value, referral, CV request. Now, in terms of the value, if you go to my, let me just see, I've actually got a podcast you can, if you head to my website, I've actually got a podcast. It shows you how to have articles created for free. So if you go to my website, and if you look for podcast 2, 0 to 162,000, there's a case study there on James and how he basically went from brand new recruiter, and within a matter of weeks he had the platform to speak to 162,000 recruiters, all done by creating content for free. He didn't write any of the content himself; it was written for him. But go and listen to that podcast. Really cool podcast. Top guy, James also. So step 2 there is create content for 90 days, but you don't have to write it yourself. Don't think I need to write 90 days content. No, you don't. There are ways you can have it written for you. Number 3, integrate this, so the automated follow-up tool, with your conversion tool. So if you're using webinars, integrate that with your automated follow-up tool. And number 4, automate your CV process. Automate the process. So let me ask you a question. Which of those would you apply in your business first? Would it be the fact that you can speak to hundreds at a time? Would it be the fact you can now drop the phone as your key tool to get candidates? Would it be that in fact you can actually get 40% of candidates who come to your page using our strategy can actually give you their CV? So what did you learn from that? Just type in the box, what did you learn? What did you notice? What would you like to share? Just going to grab my water a sec while you type in there. Okay, so how easy is it to get these pages set up? We do everything by templates. So pretty much if you can use Microsoft Word, it's template driven. Can we get a copy of the slide? Yeah, of course, I said about that already. I imagine you have to get a lot of traffic. No, as I said, for every 10 who come, we want 4 to sign up. Now, I don't know what your stats are when you go out to LinkedIn. I don't know if you send out 100 messages, you get 40 candidates coming back to you in CVs. I'm not sure what your stats are, but we always want 40% conversion to come to our page to start with. So the highest we've got in the group is 72%. How long does it take to set up? It can take, and I'm going to give you a case study in a second, it can take a matter of days. You can actually get the 3 steps set up within 4 days. And that's working about 2 to 3 hours a day. Okay, rest of the questions I think I'll hold to the end because I want to be conscious of time. I just want to move through this. So let's move into the actual application. So enough of the theory. Let's look at a live example. So we said everything we do we want to be based on metrics. We don't want to be guesswork. We don't want to be coming into an agency whereby on a Monday we're sending out emails and then we have a good month, bad month, inconsistency, not quite sure what we're doing. Remember I said that we want to hit 40%. Remember I said that 40%, you might have thought that sounds a bit like BS. How on earth can you get 40%? Well, here you go. Here's an actual screenshot of an existing set of campaigns. So you need high quality CVs. At the top you can see the first campaign, HS2 Project Manager Opportunities, 100% signed up, but there's only traffic of only 4. But it's a very specific role. HS2 Freelance Opportunities, so you can see we had 51% of candidates register, 112 came to the page, 57 gave us a CV. Next one, High Speed 2 Freelance Ops, 219 came to the page. There you go, it shows traffic works. 72 opted in, 33%. So we want to get higher than 40%. So that isn't great. But then the others you can see are all higher than 40%. Next, Head of Project Control. You can see very specific roles. So 28 came, 23% signed in. Gave us the details, wanted to know, apply for the role. 82%. Project Engineering Head. Again, very high, 76%. Etc. Head of BIM, 67%. So you can see most of them are above 40%. So everything we do, every time we run it, we want to get down to 1%. There's no guesswork anymore. There's no guesswork. The funny thing is this. Our members now, when they're building their business, they're building the business based on working smarter, not harder. So you might say, right, I need to get more CVs in. I need to make more calls. No. You tweak your landing page, i.e. you change the text So you simply change the text on the page, and then you're going to get more CVs. So you simply look at your screen, you change the text based on a set of variables, which are going to be what are the key benefits of the candidate, what are the key drivers, and that's going to bring in more CVs. So imagine 100 candidates come to the page and you've got a very poor page, and 10 out of 100 give you their CVs. Imagine you change the text, send me an email, Andy, I've only 10% sign up. Okay, I'll look at your page, I'll critique it, make these changes. Then you've got 50%. So if 100 people come, you've got 40 more candidates giving you a CV. Not because you slogged your guts making your life hell by hitting the phones, not by sending out job alerts, not by looking for second-rate candidates on job boards. It's by working smarter. We're in the digital age. If you haven't got this yet, wake up. We're in the digital age. It's your agency. If you're not going to change it, no one else is. And if you see your competitors are doing this in 1 month, 6 months, only you can blame yourself for not taking action and missing this. So the first thing we want to do is we get conversion. We want to get conversion above 40%. That's key. There's a set of steps we do. So step 1, we get our conversion to at least 40%. Step 2, then we scale. So look at over here. We've got 112, 57 opted in, 51% CVs, 219, 72 CVs. So we didn't get our 40% there, but we tweaked it. We improved the next time. But the first thing is you convert to 40%. So all you do is make sure the page is right. We've got templates for that. Step 2, now you scale. Now you look at, this is where a business can go from, so the example, one of the case studies went from $8,000 a month to 6 figures a month. Because you get the conversion right first, then you scale. So what does that look like? We're going back to our architecture, our agency ignition campaign architecture. So if you look at the bottom, if you've got 100 targeted visitors come to your page, the candidates, 40% give you their CV, or opt in rather at that page. So you've got 40 new candidates actually opted in saying, right, I want to hear from you again, and then new candidates on your database. Then of that, we typically get 50% of the 40% giving us their CV. So you've got 20 new CVs. And then from the automated follow-up sequence, you're typically going to get about 10%. So that means that every 100 visitors who come, we know we're going to get 22 CVs. So what does that mean then? It means even if we didn't improve our conversion, so that 40% conversion, say the highest in the group, 72%, on average you want to get around 55%. But say you get 40% and you do nothing else, all you do is increase the traffic. Say you times traffic by 5. Rather than 100 visitors, you've got 500. That means you've got 100 CVs up front. Plus you've got 5 times plus the 2. So you've got in total 110 new CVs if you've got 500 visitors. Now if you can tweak the 40% and move that up to 50% or 60%, and you include the traffic, you start to get compound growth. And that's where our members have managed to grow the business extremely quickly. Managed to scale extremely quickly. Because we're not working in a business whereby we're hitting the phones, killing ourselves. We're working systematically, we're working online, and we're working to get traffic, conversions, CVs. Real simple process. You've turned up here today. You've registered for a webinar. You've attended a webinar. The process works. Now we've got 8 different models we can apply for different niches and different types of candidates. But in terms of actually looking at how the growth can go, look at the figures at the bottom. 100, 40, 20 plus 2. It's systematic. Remember we went back to this page. We know exactly to a percentage what we're going to get. We know exactly how we can tweak the pages. Very, very simple. Now I'm going to move through quickly because I'm conscious of time. Now for those of you who said to me, Andy, that sounds good, what about the quality of CVs? Well, this is Andy. This is what Andy said to me. Andy, sorry, just read your email properly. Hopefully you can use this testimonial. So he's actually come to me and said thank you. The problem we had was this: starting a new agency, which no one knew about. I had clients to service, but with only myself to do everything, not enough hours in the day. I want to move away from working 10, 11 hour days, slogging my guts on the phone. I want to be able to scale my business quickly and profitably. What I recommended, so Andy, that's me, Andy Whitehead, suggested implement authority and sales webinars, which is one of 8 different ways we can use it, by the way, to attract multiple quality candidates, and this was delivered. Also, Andy helped with a whole host of other things which helped drive additional business, which include a website and LinkedIn profile. In addition, Andy has helped me put into place strategies both to automate and outsource lots of my business, which means I won't have to work such long hours, and I will now work far more efficiently. So how quickly is this moving? All this has been done in only 4 weeks. So let's just recap. Look at part B. New website, LinkedIn profile, candidates in 4 weeks. So for those of you who ask how quickly can it move can move extremely quickly. In fact, the webinar took less than a week to put together, and the results were instant and incredible. Rough financial figure worth to you. What Andy has done will easily double my business, not treble. The possibilities are endless. In fact, what Andy did with the first time he ran through his process, he brought on 85 CVs, 57 were of a quality to go to the client. I'll say that again. The first time he ran through this, so that was the first week he got up and running, 85 CVs, 57 were of a quality to go to the client. I don't know how many CVs you get in, but do you get 5 in every 8, or close to 6 in every 8 of a quality you can actually send across to the client? And for those of you asking about the quality, the first 10 they're put through in tranches of 10 through to the client. They were put through in groups of 10, and 10 out of 10 went through the first of all to the client, through to interview. So what we discussed here is, if you look at the model, we got working in your business on the green and working on the business in blue. So level 2 is what we discussed here today, the lead funnel and CV flood. So this is part of a bigger agency ignition model. It's how we actually launch an agency or take an agency from doing okay to doing extremely well. So level 1, we want to make sure you've got the foundations in place, website, LinkedIn and so forth. So we did that of Andy, as you mentioned. Level 2, you want to get your first lead funnel in place. You want client leads, this is level 2. If you want CVs, it's level 2. Level 3, you want to set up the automation. Make sure it works while you sleep. There's nothing better coming in the morning and looking in your inbox. You've got CVs, you've got client leads every day in your inbox because of automation. Level 4, now we're looking at setting up our second lead funnel, and it's only now we look at actually the social media piece. Why is that? Because you don't need a dozen social media different avenues to get leads in. You need just one. You need just one, and then you scale. Now, what we want to focus on is you working on your business. So level 5, we want to now look at how we can have 24/7 lead gen, how we can have a team actually implement these things. I don't mean a team that works in an office with you. I don't mean a team that's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. I mean a team that's going to work while you sleep for pretty much next to nothing. Level 6, now we're looking at ad traffic and a second conversion tool. Level 7, we're now looking at systems, true systems at scale, and also SOPs. What are they? Standard operating procedures. Why do we have those? Put it this way. Say you have someone working for you, and I get this so many times. An agency has a consultant, he's left, he's taken all his contacts. Now, if you set up with a system like this, your leads are going to come in via a set of steps. They're going to come in by a set of systems which are automated, which you own. So you're going to have someone running these things. They're not going to be a recruitment consultant. These are actually admin tasks. It's very simple to run in the background. So when you've got standard operating procedures, you know that every time you run it, you're going to bring in 50 CVs. Those 50 CVs, 25 go to the client. Of those 25, let's say low end, 5 actually become placement fees. So you know, every 50 CVs that come in using this process, you get 5 placement fees, and you get 25, we'll say $20,000 a fee. So you run through the process, you get $100,000 worth of fees. Now, when you sell your business, do you think that's a scalable, saleable proposition? Of course it is. Ken joined us on 4 figures a month, now on the 6-figure a month side, believes because of the process we've set up in place with him, he's looking at a $5 to $10 million business within the next couple of years. Why? Because we set it up in a procedural fashion. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen anyone ever look at your agency in this way before. I'm not sure if you ever seen this process set up this way before, but we're actually focusing on a business that you work on, not in. Now, there's 5 key principles to scaling your business. Number 1, know your outcome. Know your outcome. If you want to be doing $500,000 a year and your placement fee is $50,000, that's 10 placements. If it's $1,000, that's 500,000 placements. Why does that make a difference? Because that then drives the strategy we use. In fact, it defines whether actually what we're showing you is a good fit for your agency. But you must know your outcome, because that's going to drive the strategy you use. Number 2, conversion comes first. You must know what your conversion metrics are. If you live each month up and down, not sure whether it's going to be a good month or bad month, and you have a sigh of relief because some fees have come in, you haven't got a system, you haven't got a business that's scalable. You must know your conversion points. That gives you security. Then when you've got that security, you can scale. So you can take a business that's got 40% conversion, then you can scale it not just for one role, but for 10 roles. And what we want to do is create turnkey systems. So with McDonald's, you can go anywhere in the world. You can go to Moscow, you can go to Miami, you can go to what begins with M in the UK, Manchester. A Big Mac tastes the same at all of them. Why? Because you've got a turnkey system. It's exactly what we want in your business. We want it to run like a franchise. If you haven't got that approach, then you're probably working in your business, you're probably stressed, you're probably still spinning plates, you've probably still got up and down. That isn't what we want. You want to look at your business in 12 months and see that you've got systems that run while you're not there. And what that gives you is the ability to work on the business, not in it. So Ken, his outcome was to go from $8,000 to $100,000 within 12 months. Is he achieving it? Yes, he is. He set his outcome. So when he came to us, he wanted to know how to actually do this. So he's followed the steps. He's got his outcome. There's conversion. So he's gone from getting a handful of registrations a week to 50 to 250. Scaling. He's gone from no automation in his business now to being fully automated for both content and also leads. Bringing in CVs is the next step. Leads is the next step for you, but you automate the process. It's turnkey. So it's documented and automated. So it means anyone else can come into his business, pick it up and run with it. He's not doing it. He's not dependent on worrying if someone's going to leave his business. The process is documented. It's turnkey. It's like McDonald's. He's working on the business. So he's now designing the next phase. He's not in it actually doing it. You say automation. I now have a business that has automated so many processes. What used to take months now takes a few hours. Financial impact now. Brand recognition, 2 to 3 leads per day. By the way, that means client leads. So rather than getting one of these a week, he's getting 2 to 3 a day. So he's getting 10 to 15 more each week. These are clients saying, can you source for us? How good would your business be for clients to come to you and say, can you do this? In fact, I got an email from him stating, I've got another $200,000 to come in. I need to really scale this up now in terms of the sourcing piece. Help me with it. So if you want a business that scales and you want to go from 4 figures a month to 6 figures a month, you're in the right place. So sign new clients. New clients bringing in consistent revenue. Financial impact. By the end of the year, we should generate 100k of revenue each month. That's only a few months away, by the way. I want to grow business to 5 to 10 million within 5 to 7 years. Now he knows how to do it. It's now attractive in the right way for a sale. So I'm starting to position myself as an expert. So he's now actually an expert in his marketplace. So let me ask you a question. Fork in the road time. You can either continue being just another recruiter or you can be someone who's got systems. So you have to make a decision which path are you going to choose. Because now's going to be the time where we're in a time where digital is really the key driver to really leveraging your business, both in terms of getting CVs, getting clients, but also position you as the expert. If you're chasing, it's the wrong dynamic. Now what I want to do is share with you a model which has really come about from working with. So last year we trained over 12,000 recruiters online, and then also a lot in person and a lot one-to-one and also in a group format. But we trained over 12,000. So this model comes from what I've seen from agencies which are really kicking it, doing extremely well, and those who are struggling. So what I've seen is this. We've got a number of different levels with agencies, and this isn't just in the UK, USA. This is in Canada, Australia, and France, and Spain, and Germany, and this is around the world. But I found that there's some consistencies both in terms of the way we treat our business, also in terms of the income we get, and how we really see our role in the business. I found that we've got a number of different levels. So we've got the startup recruiter. So they're actually working on a desk at the moment. They're looking to maybe think about setting up alone, but they're actually working on a desk. It might be new to recruitment, or at least definitely new to the idea of setting up their own business. Secondly, we actually got the startup agency. So these are those brave warriors who've gone out to set up their own agencies, and they're really going out there to really take on board I want to get the commissions. If I'm doing the work, I want to get paid for it. I want to get compensated in the right way. Next, we've got those agencies which are in stability. So these are the agencies who are doing well. And by the way, what this looks like in terms of startup recruiter, we're looking at about it could be up to sort of 5k a month in terms of startup recruiter. The startup agency, you might be looking at about 10k a month, and those are sort of hitting stability around about 20k a month. And then as we move into the next phase, success, we're looking at those who are maybe hitting around 40k and thereabouts. But now we're starting to get into the agencies which are they've got a real growth factor, and those who are looking to move into scale. And we're looking at about 80. Now these figures aren't set in stone, but these are sort of rough figures we found from the last few years from agencies as they move up this ladder. So I don't know where you are on this ladder, but I've seen this firsthand. These are the steps that you're going to go through to grow your agency, and there are certain growth factors you're going to move through. And these are the rough sort of figures per month. And then what we've got at the top are those agencies which are in a place of significance. Now, what that means with significance, it doesn't mean that you're arrogant. It doesn't mean that you're in any way better than anyone else. And in fact, no matter what level you are on the scale, it doesn't mean you're any better or any worse than anyone else. But in terms of significance, what I mean by it is those recruiters and agencies who've got the ability to decide what they're going to do. They're free. They're free of their business. Now what we've seen is sort of the break-even point sort of hits down here between the 5 and 10k mark, typically. This is the break-even point. But in terms of actually how this applies in your business and the amount of time and effort you put into the business, we found that down here we've got those who are actually on a desk. They're probably thinking about starting their own agency in spare time. Those who are starting their agencies, they're probably going to be focused 100% on this, but some have started them in the background part-time. Now if you're in stability, you're definitely running the agency full-time. This is your baby. This is your passion. This is what you've been born to do. You're out there to get the money now. You're out there to get the fees. You're out there to really dominate the market space. Now those who've hit quote success phase, ironically, they now find that they're on overtime. They are working the hours, but they are killing themselves. They're in a place whereby they're working longer than they expected to, longer than they planned to. That freedom's now gone. The freedom's now gone. So it's that weighing up. Is this really working for me? Then in the scale phase, we've got those agencies, those owners as directors who can now see light at the end of the tunnel. It's painful, it's killing them, but I know that if I can sell this, the money's going to be worth it. The money's going to be worth it. And then at the top, we've got where we want to be, for free. We can actually decide how much time we're going to spend in the business. We're going to decide, because now we've got systems, we've got automation, we've got true leverage. If I want to sell it, I'm going to sell it. If not, I don't need to be in the business. It's systematic. So I don't know whether you read the 4-Hour Work Week or the E-Myth or so forth, but you've got a business that supports that model. We've now got that freedom, that significance. So really what I found is we've got there's 3 key sort of breakpoints that take place with our agencies. There's three key areas. We've got those who are in fact I changed the pen. We've got those who are in here. And these down here are in hunting mode. So if you're down here, you're in hunting mode. You're probably looking for candidates. You're probably looking for clients. And you're hunting. You're in hunt mode. The next phase is we're in build mode. So if you're here, what we're looking to do, we're in build mode. So now we understand we've got some candidates, we've got some clients, we're breathing, but we know to truly grow we need to build. We need to build systems, we need to build automation, we need to build it, but we're not doing it. But we know we need to. That's when you're in the build phase. And the next phase, which is where you want to be, is where you're in flow. If you're in flow, you're now focusing on if you send out an email, if you need to hire staff, if you need to bring on board candidates, if you need to get new clients, you've got a system for it. It's a great place to be. Now you may be working long hours if you're in the scale place, but you know you're close. So when we're in flow, we've taken on board systems, we've taken on board automation. So if you're in the hunt phase, you're looking to get into build. If you're in the build phase, you're looking to get into flow. Now, I don't know where you are, but this next few minutes is only going to be relevant to those who are here, who are in probably startup agency, if you have the right mindset, in startup up to looking to gain significance. If you're a startup recruiter, if you're on your own desk, if you're still working for the man, this next few minutes probably isn't going to be for you. But if you are in a startup agency, you're looking to get in stability. If you're in stability, looking to gain success. If you're looking to get from success into scale, and then you're looking to have true automation, maybe create a business that you want to sell, then you're in the right place. What we want to be doing is focusing on three things. We want to focus on you being one to many. We want to focus on you having inbound, and we want to focus on a systematic approach to our business so it's predictable. If that's where you want to be in any of these 5 key areas, then the next step is really simple. It's to have a quick 10-minute chat with us. It's going to be a friendly interrogation, just to work out if or how you can apply these strategies in your business. We're going to have a 10-minute conversation. If it works out you can apply this in your business, then we're going to have a completely free 45-minute strategy call. If it works out these strategies you can't apply in your business, I'll be very honest. I'm always direct with you. I'll be transparent, and I'll tell you why these strategies won't work in your business. So if you want to move from one-to-one into one-to-many, if you want to move into having inbound rather than outbound, then we'll have a 10-minute chat. A 10-minute get acquainted chat, completely no pressure, no hassle. This isn't a sales call, by the way. This is just a take it head on as it is. We'll have a 10-minute chat to see if these strategies can apply in your business. If they can, awesome. If they can't, I'll be very direct with you, and I'll tell you why. So you really need to work out if you want to take the slow route or the fast route. But say these aren't for everyone. If you are on a desk and you're working for somebody else, then these probably aren't going to be for you, because you can't actually take them away and apply them. I'm going to give you a lot of information on the call. On the strategy call, I'm actually going to give you 2 documents. I'm actually going to give you a fast action recruitment marketing plan. I'm going to give you a report you can take away and see how you can actually apply this in your business. I'm also going to give you 45 minutes of my time. So if you can't take action, then it's a waste of your time and my time. And I want to respect your time, and I want you to really take away and implement these things. This isn't about if you're not in the right place, as a startup recruiter. It's about you need to understand there is a sequence of events. You don't go from 5k a month to 80k a month just by luck. There are a set of steps you go through, and that's what we need you to really understand. So on that 10-minute conversation, we're going to discuss the frameworks. So all you do is go to rmi.acuityscheduling.com. In fact, I think the technical people might have a button underneath for you to click on. If not, go to rmi.acuityscheduling.com, and then all you need to do is, if you select number 1, agency strategy application call, just a 10-minute call. We're going to have a 10-minute call. Remember to select your time zone. Select your time zone. And what we're going to do on this, we're going to do 3 things. Just going to come back to these. We're going to look at your business. We're going to put together an actual set of steps. And we're going to look at what you want it to look like in 12 months. I want to get reality on where you are today. So I really want to look at where you are today. I want to understand what your business looks like now. What assets do you have to hand in your business? So if you say, Andy, right, I want to apply this strategy, and I want to automate my candidate sourcing. Okay, great. Tell me what assets you've got in your business now. What have you got that you can leverage now? Then we're going to look at the roadblocks that are going to stop you from getting there, and then we're going to actually map specific strategies to your specific situation. So what we're going to do is that we're going to actually move through those steps. But on the 10-minute call, we're going to actually look at laying out the tracks. When you've got a set of steps you can follow, so on that 10-minute call, even if I think these strategies don't apply to you, I'm still going to tell you exactly what I think you should do. I'm still going to give you the very best I can give you. When you go to rmi.acuityscheduling.com, there are a set of questions I want you to answer. The more information you can give me in those questions, the more I can prep for the call. If you give me one line of information in those questions, I'm probably actually not going to take the call with you, because I know you're not serious about your business. So the more information you give me in those 5 questions, and I'm only talking about just give me a few lines, give me a paragraph for each of those questions, I can come to the call actually prepped. You'll see we haven't got that many spaces there, but I'll actually come to the call prepped. So I'll come to the 10-minute call prepped, and I'll be able to actually give you the exact strategies I think you should apply, whether I think that we should move into a 45-minute strategy call or not. If I think you've got a business whereby you can work on it, whereby you can truly go from, even if it's a startup agency, move into stability, or whether you can move from success into scale, I'll be looking at you working on your business, creating systems, automation to automate your candidate sourcing and so forth. And then we'll move into a 45-minute strategy call. So on that call, we're going to look at actually discussing how we actually implement it, how we actually implement strategies in your business. But before the 45-minute strategy call, I'm going to send you a fast action plan. I'm going to send you an agency ignition report which shows you how to get client CVs and really create certainty in your business. So I'm going to give you both of these reports completely for free. One's a plan, one's a report. I'm also going to give you a 20-minute video. So that's if you would get through a 10-minute call, and I think you can apply this in your business. I'm going to give you these for free and a video. Then on the 45-minute strategy call, we're going to get deep on the results, the reality, the roadblocks. And then we're going to map the specific strategies to your specific situation. Now, say we've only got a handful of spaces, so if you do book a call, and I can see a few of you have already, just give me as much information as you can in the questions, and I can come to the call fully prepped. I want to make use of your time, but also my time. I'm giving a lot on these calls. So if you got a lot out of this today, and I'm going to give you even more on these calls. So you go to rmi.curityscheduling.com, schedule the call, schedule a 10-minute call, and then what we'll do, we'll get on the call. My assistant will give you a telephone call 24 hours before to confirm details, confirm we're all good to go. Then on the call, we're going to really knock it out of the park and look at your business on those 10 minutes. Then if I think you can go from startup to stability or stability to success, we'll have a 45-minute strategy call. And before that call, I'm going to send you 2 documents, the fast action plan, the report, and also a video. So I'm really looking forward to speaking to you. So with that said, I'm conscious of time. Just very quickly then, so let's see what questions we got. We got a lot of questions, so I'm not going to be able to answer all of these. So I've gone way longer than I expected. So for those of you who type questions in the box, so I can't answer these questions, too many on the call, but roughly let me see what the top 3 or 4 questions. Questions about social media. Do you recommend multiple social media channels or just one? In terms of getting candidates, you choose one channel, you choose one system, and you get conversion first and you scale. Does this work in every sector? Yeah, we have members of success in everything from fashion recruitment through to renewable energy, through to architecture, through to investment banking. We've got everything. Okay, there's way too many questions in here. Let me see. Other sessions. How much of the session? The 10-minute call is completely free. The 45-minute call is completely free. At the end of the 45-minute session, if I think you can apply this in your business, then I will advise you of next steps. If I think we're a fit, I may suggest that we have a conversation about moving forward, but at the very least I want to give you the 3 steps to move forward. But I really need to have both calls with you to see that where you are in your business on the 10-minute call, a fact-finding call to see where you are, and then the 45-minute call, I'm going to give you the exact strategies you can go away and apply. But at the end of the 10-minute calls, even if we're not a fit, I'm still going to give you what I think the next steps are. But of course, if you get onto the 45-minute call, then you're going to get the documents, you're going to get the video and so forth. Okay, loads of questions coming in. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is this. I'll answer any questions you've got on our 10-minute call. So if you book the call, any questions you've got, type in the question box. Any questions you've got. So go to rmi.curityscheduling, schedule the call. Any additional questions you've got, type in there. I'll make sure before our 10-minute call, I'll have the answers to those calls. Okay. So with that said, I want to be respectful of time. I've gone way longer than I expected. Thanks for the engagement. I'm so sorry I couldn't respond to you all individually. I have way too many on the call today. But I can see we've got 8, 9, 10, 11 already. But is that 9, I think, signed up? Emily, let me know. Already signed up for the 10-minute call. Wonderful. Look forward to speaking to you. So I look forward to speaking on a 10-minute call. Thank you for those of you who've sent me lovely comments. For those of you who've typed in the box asking for the slides and the recording, I'll make sure you get sent those. So look out for an email in the next day or two. As soon as we can get this rendered, it will be with you. But for those of you with a 10-minute call, look forward to speaking to you. We won't be doing this much longer. We've only got a handful left, so thanks for that. For all the questions to say, sorry I couldn't speak to you all one-to-one. By the way, the water I'm drinking, for those of you who asked, it's called Eden Falls. Okay, well that's it. I'm going to wrap up today's call. Been great. Really enjoyed the interaction. Look forward to speaking to you. RMI.acuityscheduling.com. So it's RMI.acuityscheduling.com. Take care, everybody. Speak soon. Bye-bye.